So today's agenda is BHL modeling practice. So now that we are aware of the different modeling styles, specifically data flow modeling style, which is characterized by the presence of constructs such as with select or when else, and also the behavioral modeling style, which is characterized by the presence of the process end process clause, and within that process end process clause we can have either if then else end if, or if then else if end if construct, or we can have the case end case construct. So it is the right time that we start practicing modeling of different proposed digital systems. And I have two sets of examples which students can use for practicing. Um, in the first set, we have all uh, sequential and combination systems, but which can be modeled using behavioral modeling style. And the second set specifically is to practice structural modeling style. So here is the list, 4 is to 1 mux. Now it is not that these systems have not been modeled by us in our theory sessions. Some of them have been modeled and some of them have not been modeled. So we will just put a tick mark against that which has been modeled, and we will try to model those we have not covered till now. So 4 is to 1 mux has been done before only. So okay, so 4 is to 1, okay, fine, no problem. So 4 is to 1 mux is over. 3 static not over, 7 for 1 thread not over. Yeah, ALU is in progress. So ALU is the first assignment in the SPPU list. So I can say that it is in progress. DLatch, it's over. We have discussed DLatch, how it can be generated in two ways. One is by using incomplete if statements, and also by converting mux into a DLatch. So we have discussed how if the output of the mux is fed back either to the 0 input or 1 input, it leads to an active high enable DLatch or active low enable DLatch. We have also modeled D flip-flops by having the same kind of inputs and outputs, but only that a D-latch is level triggered system and a flop is a clock triggered system. So D flip-flop with reset, it's a slight modification of previous one, reset and preset, right? So anyways, if you want, then we can actually do everything in one shot today, not an issue. So yeah, 3-bit up counter, down counter, both of them are over. 3-bit up count, down count with reset preset over. So we have discussed both asynchronous and synchronous reset preset. If you go to the second set, we have actually used full adder using half adders as the example for learning the structural modeling style. So this is over. 4 is to 1 mux using 2 is to 1 mux can be done. Yeah, 16 is to 1 mux using 4 is to 1. That was discussed by me in one of the theory sessions. This is to be done 7483 3-bit asynchronous counter using SMS. This is what we have to do. 2 is to 1 mux using structure modeling style. This is also done. Logic gates using mux. Okay, this can be done. Okay, so all these things can be considered to be done. Okay, not gate 4-bit PRBS. Okay, this. So all those which are highlighted in fluorescent can be done in practice. Yeah, this is done. This also can be done. And here we'll be doing today 4 is to 1 mux, 3-state decoder, and we can do flop with reset, reset and preset. Okay, so we start with 4 is to 1 mux with enable. Okay, so the first VHDL model which we want to create is 4 is to 1 mux with an enable. So VHDL modeling of 4:1 mux with enable. Okay. So as already told many times, the correct starting point for entity declaration is the block diagram. So first thing which we do here is to make the block diagram. So these are multiplexer and we write a valid entity name inside it. Say mux 41 underscore enable, and it is 4:1 mux. So we have input I, which is a 4-bit bus. We have the select lines, which is a 2-bit bus. And here we have an additional signal, and let us assume that our enable is active low and we have the output. So only difference between a plain 4:1 mux and a 4:1 mux with an enable is that we have an additional control signal En and it is active low. So now this will help us to create the entity declaration in Xilinx ISE. And here we have the truth tables. In a truth table, we have En, we have S, and we have Y. Okay. So because it is active low, so first we will see what is 1. If it is 1, select line is don't care and my output should be Z, that is high impedance state. Okay, usually whenever any integrated circuit is disabled, the output usually are pulled to high impedance state. So enable is active low. So when it is 1, select has become don't care and output is Z. When it is 0, at that time it will act as normal multiplexer. So we have I0, I1, I2 and I3. Okay. So for this 4 combinations. Okay. So without wasting any time, I'll directly shift to Xilinx ISE tool. Okay. So remember this thing, our block diagram looks like this with the entity name. So I go here and I will say new project and I will say mux 41 underscore En. Let me say control A, control C. The path is declared. Top level source is HDL. Next, none specified, all Spartan 3E, XC3S 250E, PQ2Z -5, ISIM simulator, language VHDL, and standard VHDL 93. Next, finish. Go to design window, implementation mode, target line, right click, new source, VHDL module, file name, control V, reselect, check, next. Change the default architecture name from behavioral to entity name underscore arch. Here, going back, En, I and S. So first signal is En, it is input. Second input is I, input bus, and it's 0 to 3. Okay, so it will put it as 0 down to 3. We will edit it and make it 0 to 3. And then here, select line S in bus, and it is 1 down to 0. It's a 2-bit select bus. Here output Y out, and we'll say next, finish. We have the coding window here. We'll float it. Delete all the comments. Delete second set of comments. Come here. And here I'm going to use the behavioral modeling style. So I have the first thing to do is process En, comma I, comma select line S. Begin. And I will say if En equal to 0, or you can say if En equal to 1, then okay, you can have if select line equal to double quote 0 0, then y is assigned I bracket 0, else if I can copy this thing now. 0 1, and I can copy this thing now. Else if
EN 0 होना चाहिए ना सर?
हाँ
EN 0 होना चाहिए ना, एक्टिव लो है ना?
नहीं पहले या ठीक है वो करेंगे बाद में, we will do it. Okay, so it's I2 and here. So because in the last case you don't need to give any value of s, I can just say else. I will say I3. Okay. So first we will set the synthesis right, and then we can see if actually as per block diagram I have defined En as active high or active low. Currently, as you said that it is currently active high, but I can make it active low. So if s equal to 0, else, okay, and we can say end if. So if s equal to 0 0, then y gets I0, else if 0 1, y gets I1, else if 1 0, y gets I2, else I gets Y3. So for this if I am putting an end if, and here then now I come to a stage where I have to tell what should be done when En comes as 0. So what I will do is that I will tab this. Okay. So I will say else. So this else is for taking an action when En equal to 0. So I will say else y is assigned. Please pay attention. Y is 1 bit sequence. I will say single tick Z. Okay. Please understand one thing, that high impedance state is denoted as uppercase Z, not as lowercase z. So here we say this statement is actually telling us what should be the value assigned to output if En comes as 0. Okay. Now I think so we have to put an end if here. So this end if is for this if. Okay. So this end if is for this if, and for this if there is this end if. Now I will put end process here. Come outside. Okay. So I think so this is done. Once the synthesis is correct, then I will change the En to En equal to 0. Then it will become an active low enabled multiplexer. Yeah. So 24, 28 and 33. Yeah, so as I told you that in the dialog box where we define the inputs, we have actually to write IS023. So I have to change this. So correct. Let us see now what is the synthesis. Again, it is giving the same errors. Yeah, so you saw what was the problem is that I had given a space after this thing, it was not accepting it. Okay, anyways, we'll re-synthesize it. It's done. So we'll go and say RTL schematic. So we have here, okay, so as Abhishek told, we should stick to our block diagrams. I will say n equal to 0. So Now, just by telling En equal to 0, my system becomes active low enable multiplexer. Let us see now. Okay, so here we have the block diagram. We go inside, it's here. Okay, now it is technology schematic, it's here. Fine. So okay, so now we'll go on to do the simulation of the system. Go to simulation, new source, test bench, entity name underscore TB, reselect, next, next, finish. Okay, note. Because our system doesn't have a clock, either comment or delete the clock generation processes here. And here the enable has been initialized to 0. So initially the system is enabled. No problem, we will disable it. Everything from wait to here I will delete, and I will want to write this process for En. Okay, so En has been initialized to 0. So I will first yes, okay, so let it be 0. I can say let it be enabled. So I will say wait for 60 nanoseconds. En is assigned. So now I'm going to disable the system. Wait for 30 nanoseconds. I will say En is assigned again 0, and I will say wait for infinity. Okay, so you remember, you understand what I've done is that my En has been initialized to 0. So when it starts, I'm telling that wait at 0 for 60 nanoseconds. So system is enabled, then I make En is assigned 1, disabled for 30 nanoseconds. Then I'm again enabling the system and keeping it enabled forever. Okay. Now what I will do is that I will also initialize I to 1010, all 4 inputs. Okay, and select line is here. I'll have to write one more process for select, incrementing it. So I will just say, see, let this process be for S, and I will simply write here S is assigned S incremented by 1 semicolon, wait for, so I will say 10 nanoseconds, simple. And so that there can be an addition between an integer data type and standard logic data type, I will add one more library statement here, unsigned.all. And here go to simulation mode, expand the tree, select the test bench model, go to process window, say behavioral check syntax. Once it is done, then you can say simulate behavioral model. And I want to show you for the first time that with what color the ICM tool indicates the high impedance state. Float. Okay, so I'll zoom this, scroll and see here. Okay, so take this cursor here. So I have told in the test bench waveform that En should wait at 0 for 60 nanoseconds. So it was initialized by the tool to 0. So it is remaining 0 from 0 to 60 nanoseconds. At 60, I have told that En gets 1, wait for 30. So 60 to 90, my En is remaining 1. Okay. So from 0 to 60, En equal to 0, system is enabled. And we are seeing here that the select line, when it is 0, 1, we see what is the output. It's like this. Okay. So 0, 1 means I1 is selected. And we are seeing that I1 is 0, 1, 0, I2 is selected and I2 is 1. So 1 is coming out. Select line is 1, 1. Again, I3 is selected, I3 is 0. And when select line is 0, 0, I0 is selected and it is equal to 1. And we are seeing here that when enable remains 1 from 60 to 90 nanoseconds, we see here there is no effect of select lines. Select lines are continuously changing from 1, 1 to 0, 0 to 0, 1 to 1, 0. And we are seeing that the output is equal to Z impedance set. You see here, we can clearly see. So as I move the cursor in the value column, that is this particular column, we are seeing output is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. And see here, as soon as I go to the blue section, it is telling Z. Okay. Now one small problem, as I told you, that the select line combination starting from 0, 1. So I will close this and I will change the test bench in this way. I will initialize the test bench now to 1. Not test bench, I will initialize select lines to 1. Simulation select test bench. Check syntax. So now I have initialized the select line bus to 1, 1. So when it increments, S is assigned S plus 1, 1 will become 0, 0. And my select line combination will now start from 0, 1. Okay. See here. Okay. So 0, 0, I0 is selected and I0 is 1. So 1, 0, 1, 0, and here it is 1. Okay. So this was the synthesis and simulation of 4:1 mux using enable. Okay. So simple.
Sir,
Yes.
Sir Akshat had asked something about resource sharing. Sir, he told in the design summary we get something like how many resources are used.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, we can take it up in the next lecture. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is over now. 4:1 mux with enable. Okay. So 3:8 decoder is also very simple. So if you want to do the modeling of 3:8 decoder, then we can do it in this way. I want to ask a question. Have we covered 3:8 decoder till now?
Yes, sir.
We have
Yes,
done
sir.
that. Okay, we have done that. Fine, fine, fine. Okay, fine. So I'll not repeat it. That means I have to mark it as done. Okay. 74LS138 is a 3-line to 8-line decoder, but it is having 3 enables, G1, G2, and G3. Currently, I don't remember the pin diagram, but then you can always go to the net, download the data sheet, and you can see. And it is same thing. Only in plain 3:8 decoder, when the inputs go from 000 to 111, the outputs, if they are active high, then only 1 out of the 8 outputs will become 1 and remaining 7 will become 0, and then they go on shifting. Very simple. Only thing is that you have to add 3 enables there. Okay. So we can take it up next time. We can see if we can do something here. So D flip flop with reset is there. Okay, it's a D flip flop with reset. So D flip flop with reset. There is no point writing a VHDL model for D latch with reset because we know that latches are always undesirable. So in a D flip flop with reset, first we have the block diagram. And here, because it's a flip flop, there will be a clock, and because it's triangle, it is positive is triggered. Then we have one input D in, and we have output Q, and then we have one reset RST. Let it be active high. And as per the definition, we can have reset as asynchronous. So the truth table will be RST, CLK, and Qn plus 1 next state. So because reset is active high, if suppose it is 0, then clock will be don't care. It is sorry, it's not like that. If reset is 1, then clock is don't care, output is 0. If reset doesn't come and we have the positive edge of the clock, then Qn plus 1 next it is equal to D. It's so simple. Okay. So we again go to the tool and we have new project. We can say DFF reset, Control A, Control C. RST clock D in. So we have RST clock D in Q use output. Whenever we have D flip flop for this thing, initialize it to 0, semicolon. Behavioral modeling style, inputs RST, comma CLK, comma D in. So we can say if RST, because it is asynchronous reset, we have to check it. If RST equal to single tick 1, so it's active high. So then qtemp should be assigned 0. Now we check the status of clock. Else if rising underscore edge bracket CLK. We are here checking the arrival of rising edge of the clock. Okay. We had forgotten to write then. Signal qtemp is assigned but never used. Unconnected signal will be trimmed during the optimization process.
Sir,
Yes.
Q cosine.
Yes, correct. So we haven't assigned the final output Q2. We haven't assigned Q temp to Q, right? So this here, only when we do coding on the tool, then we can sharpen our coding skills. Okay. Yes. True. Okay. RTL schematic. As I told you that we have a D flip flop with clear because we have used a reset, so it is D flip flop with clear. Okay. So what we will do, we will modify the code and also put a preset inside it. Okay. So I will have a preset also. Control C, Control V, and just add a preset. And here I will say else if PR equal to 1, here I can add one more signal. And done. Okay, FDCP, D flip flop with preset and clear. Okay, go to simulation, select target line, right click new source, test bench. Now in our system there is a clock, so we should not delete this statement constant clock period and also this thing. So signals have been initialized to 0, 0. Good. So let them initialize because we have kept reset and preset as active high signals. Clock, let it be 0, clock period is there. Now we will have a process written for reset here, and I will say wait for 50 nanoseconds. RST is assigned 1 semicolon. Wait for nanoseconds. RST is assigned 0 semicolon. Wait. Another process for preset. We'll make it wait for how much time? 50, 60, 110. Okay. So say it. And we'll also write a process for Dean. could see V, and let this be the process for D in, and we'll define D in as a clock. Okay, so we will just say D in is assigned not of D in semicolon, wait for 45 nanoseconds. So it's a clock with time period of 90 nanoseconds. Okay, let us see. We get. You see here, if suppose the simulation is taking too long, then you can stop or abort the process and you do rerun. So here I don't need the clock period waveform, so I will just delete the waveform. Right click, delete. Okay, let us analyze it now. See here, from 0 to 50, there is reset equal to 0. So reset is not applied and even preset is not applied. So when reset and preset are not applied, then every time the rising edge comes, the value of D in is locked into the output. Just okay. So yeah, you can appreciate it like this. Okay, so rising edges. Okay, so we see here that D in is equal to 1. So D in is 1 from t equal to 0, but the output attains a value 1 when it gets the rising edge of the clock. So the rising edge. So now then the next rising edge, again the value of D in is sampled and D in happens to be 1. So it continues. Similarly, third rising edge, D in is found to be 1. It continues. Fourth rising edge, D in equal to 1 continues. And then here if you see that D in is becoming 0, and coincidentally the rising edge is also coming here. So it is registering it like that. Okay, we will change the frequency now. See here, clock is going on. First rising edge, value of D in is sampled. D in is found to be 1. Immediately output goes from 0 to 1. And then here if you see, so we see here that at 48 nanoseconds, D in becomes 0. But at that time, the rising edge of the clock is not encountered. Right? That is why it becomes like this. Okay. Yeah. You can say no. Okay. So this is how you synthesize and simulate a D latch with preset and clear. Okay. So we have covered this one also. Okay. All rest are covered. So D flip flop is also covered now. Yeah. Four is to 1 mux using 2 is to 1 mux as a component. Okay, very simple. So who can tell me what are the steps for doing structural modeling style? What are the steps to be followed if you want to model a proposed digital system using structural modeling style? Now, who can tell me, who has understood structural modeling style in this particular problem statement, what is 4:1 mux called as and what is 2:1 mux called as? What is
Is
this
to one
called?
mux is parent entity.
Okay, so 4:1 mux can be called as parent entity or also called as top level entity. Okay, and what is 4:1 mux called as?
Child entity.
Child entity. Okay, so we have identified them. Now what is the next step in structural modeling style? Yes.
How many instances we require of child entity?
That's okay. That's okay. But first we have to do the VHDL modeling of parent, right? So the first step is you have to draw the correct block diagram of parent. First you have to draw the block diagram of parent. Okay. So we'll draw it now. So this is our parent and we'll write the entity name as mux41 underscore structural modeling style. Then we are going to inputs, okay, for I and then select lines 2 S Y. Okay, what we will do, let us also add an enable here. Let us also add an enable en. But this is my top level entity. It has three inputs. En, the second set is the 4-bit input bus I0, I1, I2, I3 and the select line. Now next step is I have to draw the child. Let us draw the child with a smaller size. I will select this. Okay, so let the child be like this. What is the rule I told you for writing the signals? Okay, let us first write the entity. Yeah. So let the name be mux21, and then the rule is that you have to write it inside. Is it not? Two, and let the name be I21. That is the inputs of 2:1 mux. Similarly, this mux will have only one input and we will say let the select line be S21. So S21 is the select line of 2:1 multiplexer. I21 is the 2-bit bus. And then here we have the output written as Y21. Let this be Y21. So this will also become the component name. So this is also my component name. How many instances will I require for building a 4:1 mux using 2:1 mux?
3, sir. Sorry.
3. We'll require 3. Okay, that means we have to express. Now we have to express this parent entity as a combination of multiple instances of child entity. So first child, second child, third child. Fine. So now okay. So this is my parent entity. Basically, this rectangle represents mux 41 underscore SMS. The signals going into our EN and everything, right? Okay, fine. So I forgot we should also write EN here. Okay, so this also has an input EN. But we can say EN21. That is enable of the 2:1 multiplexer. Now my 4-bit bus which goes inside will actually go like this. Okay, so I have to write down the instance name here. So the instance name will be I21 underscore 0, and the second instance name will be I21 underscore 1, and the third instance is I21 underscore 2. Okay, and this will be 0:1, and here it will be 2:3. So I0 and I1 will go to the first instance, and I2 and I3 will go to second instance. Now the outputs of the two instances will go here. So at the same time we have the master enable here, EN. Okay, this EN has to go here. It also has to go here, and it also has to go here. Okay, so EN21, and this will be again the 2-bit bus here. 2, and here there will be output which will become Y. Okay, and now the select lines. Can you tell me how the select lines will be distributed here? Yes.
LS1 will be given.
Yes, yes. So this is my select line of the parent entity S. So out of that, this will be what? S1 or S0? S0.
S0.
Yeah, and here it will be S1. And then Respectively, we can write down that this is S21, S21, S21. This can be Y21, Y21, and we will define two intermediate signals here, X1 and X2. See now, although we are thinking that uh, 4:1 mux is such a small system, but it becomes very complex. But then we also have more fun in coding. Okay, any other signals I have left out? Almost have covered everything. Y21, everything I have covered. Okay, so I can say this is EN21, EN21, and EN21. Okay, yes. So keeping this particular block diagram in mind, I can start coding it. It's so simple. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, if we don't give enable to the mux that which one? I21 underscore 2, then it will be okay. Means already we are giving it to first two mux.
We can see it later. Okay. We can see. So we'll remove it and we will see what happens. Okay. Yes. So now I go to ISE, new project. Okay. So I'll have to give a different name because there is already a project called mux21 underscore SMS. Okay, fine. So mux41 underscore SMS. Fine. Now this will be accepted. Name of a component is mux21. Copy this whole thing and dump it here. Okay. And I will just rename them. So if we see my child is having signals EN21, I21, S21, Y21. So it will be EN21, I21, and here because it is 2-bit, it is 0 to 1, 2-bit. Similarly, the one select line, so I will say it is S21 and it is not a vector. Similarly, my output is Y21, so you can say small Y21. You can also take it as small S21. Okay. Okay, so component has been created as per this diagram. Now the next thing which I do is I define the signals x1 and x2. So I will say so So component creation and defining intermediate signals is over. So now I go into the logic part and then I will create 3 instances now. So the 3 instances are i21 underscore 0. So I will say fine. Let it be mux21 underscore 0. So I will change it now. Instance name colon start mapping now. Okay. So we have the sequence of signals is here like this. It's enable, inputs, select line and output. So here we see it will be the sequence like this. En, so it will be En, comma. Now how do you write this thing now? I want to say that these inputs 0 to 1 are actually mapped to 0 to 1 there. How to write down? I can write down I can say 0 to 1. ध्यान से देखो कैसे करना है. Okay. So I want to map I0 and I1 of the parent to the I0 and I1 of the child, first instance. Then I will write down S bracket 0, the first select line. Okay. So S bracket 0. And now the output is X1. So I will say X1. Okay. Very simple. Copy it, paste it 2 times. Okay. Now we go to second instance. It will be 1. And the mappings are again En21 gets enable here. So it is ray. And here it gets I2 and I3. So here I will write down I2 to I3. That is the last 2 inputs of the 4:1 multiplexer. And here again it gets X0. And here it output is X2. So it becomes X2. Go here third instance, it gets enable and it gets X1 and X2 as inputs and then S1 and Y. So here it gets enable and here it gets 1 comma X2. The MSB select line and the output Y of the parent. Okay. I think so it's done. More actuals than formals in the port map. How to solve this problem? I knew that this problem is going to sorry. Yes, what is the problem? How can we resolve it? So it is giving an error here that there are more actuals found than formals in the port map. Okay, so we are expecting that the child entity mux21 has only 3 inputs. That is only 3 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4. But we are seeing here it is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. How to resolve this problem? How can we resolve this problem?
Sir, we can make a vector using X1 and X2.
Yes, that is what we have to do. So we have to say signal X underscore vector. And we can say 0 to 1. Correct? Yes, and now here what to do? What should I write here? X bracket 0?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, S bracket 0
X
you write,
bracket 0.
correct? X bracket 1, and here what should I write down? X, na?
Yes, sir. Just
You
X.
have to write X here. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Seems to be fine at this instant. Let us see. What do we get? Yeah. So it should be underscore 2. Warnings. Okay. Instantiating black box module mux 21. Inserting OBOF on port wire driven by black box. What is the problem now? Who can tell? Yes. What if I do? Okay, fine. So we will deal with it in the next session.